Welcome to the Cool English Podcast, where I bring you English vocab, culture, pronunciation, and much more.
Hello, welcome. Today we're going over some action verbs, specifically action verbs number 9. It's a great set to learn because these are all words we do with our bodies. Let's get started. The first is to cut into pieces with force. So we can see a man with a knife cutting some maybe garlic, and what would we say?
Chop.
Chop, C-H-O-P, to chop something into little pieces. We chop tomatoes, we chop a lot of food, but you can also chop firewood if you're wanting to make a fire. Chop down a tree. Next, to run quickly and suddenly for a short distance. And we see a workman or a businessman running through the street. So we might say he is
Dash.
dashing or dash, D-A-S-H, dash. It's very famous. We have DoorDash, the delivery service, because they run to your door. So a quick run somewhere, we say you dash. A lot of video games have a dash button for the character to go faster. Next, to make a sudden small movement because of pain or fear. So imagine a balloon pops next to your face and you were not expecting it. How would you move?
Flinch.
You might flinch, F-L-I-N-C-H. To flinch is to move backwards, make that small movement of fear or pain. So don't flinch, sometimes we say. To look for a long time with interest or love. And we see a family looking at the stars on a beautiful night. And we say they are
Gaze.
gazing, to gaze. So to gaze, to look with love or interest. Stargazing is a very popular activity. You can gaze at your loved ones or at the sunset. A very common way to say look. Next, go down so your knees touch the ground. And we see a woman in the garden on her knees planting something. And you could say she is
Kneel.
kneeling. So to kneel is K-N-E-E-L, and kneel is to get on your knees. So you might tell your doctor, it's hard to kneel. The past tense is knelt with a T. You might say, I knelt and I hit my head getting up. What about this little rodent here? He's eating things in very small bites or a snack. So that is to
Nibble.
nibble, N-I-B-B-L-E, nibble. And we say, hey, can I nibble on that? It's like snack on it. Don't nibble before dinner. It's very common. We say puppies or animals, they nibble on your shoes or they nibble on your feet. Next, to move suddenly and rapidly downward, falling sharply.
Plunge.
Plunge, P-L-U-N-G-E. And this can be for a human. He plunges into the water. So it's very popular today, the cold plunge, where people get in cold water and submerge their bodies. But it's also very common in business, like the stock market plunged. It means it went down. So if sales plunge, the sales go down very fast. Next, to let liquid flow from one container to another or continuously. So if you have some tea and I have a cup, I might say, hey, could you
Pour.
pour some tea for me? P-O-U-R, pour. So you pour water, you pour drinks. When it's raining very heavily, we say it's pouring. So it's common for this liquid flowing to pour. Next, to breathe out loudly to show emotion. So if you are frustrated, you might do this, which is we call
Sigh.
to sigh. It's also a noun, a sigh. It's common for teenagers who are frustrated to sigh at their parents. In movies, you'll see a lot of sighs. And the last one, to walk with no fixed direction. Maybe a couple on vacation might want to
Wander.
Wander, W-A-N-D-E-R, wander. And it's to kind of walk without a purpose. You wander the streets on vacation, but also animals wander. They don't know where they're going. So it's a common word. Let's take a look. So we have
chop,
chop,
dash,
dash,
flinch,
flinch,
gaze,
gaze,
kneel,
kneel, right? So chop was to cut into little pieces. Dash was to run really quickly. Flinch is to kind of move back in fear. Gaze is to look with love or interest at something. And kneel is to get on your knees, right? What about to eat little pieces? We say
nibble,
nibble, or to go down quickly,
plunge,
or to move liquid from one container to another.
pour,
You pour a drink. Maybe that
sigh,
exhalation of emotion, sigh. And on vacation, a couple might want to
wander,
and, have an adventure, discover new places. So in a story, I might say, Lucas managed not to, in shock, when the icy water splashed him. I think that's going to be flinch, right? Because if you get splashed with icy water, you might kind of recoil like a flinch. Then into the lake with a dive to impress his friends. So I think in that one, it's to plunged, right? Because you want to go down. Another good way is multiple choice. So try not to, so the dentist can check your teeth. And again, I think that's flinch, so you don't want to move, right? And we say after the final whistle, fans with disappointment. So what's that exhalation? Sigh. The fans sighed with disappointment. They paused to at the rainbow over the valley. So if you see a beautiful rainbow, you might pause to gaze at the rainbow. Another great way is to look at real headlines and come up with synonyms. So dash through city streets in midnight fun race. I think that headline's talking about to run or sprint through the streets. How about robotic knife chop salad prep time by 70%? I think that means to cut the prep time or reduce it. We also do fill in the blanks is a great way. So you can say at the charity event, brave swimmers agreed to plunge into the freezing lake. Or realizing their flight was leaving, Maya had to dash to the boarding gate to catch it, meaning to run. Maybe instead of following a tour, he likes to wander through streets and discover hidden cafes. Another good one is asking questions. So I might say, who normally pours the drinks at family gatherings in your house? Or I might ask, what everyday situation makes you sigh? Another great way is to hear in real life context, like video games. So we might come here and say, not video games, sorry, video clips.
Teach him how to chop wood.
What do you say there?
Teach him how to chop wood.
I think he said, teach him how to chop wood. So to take an axe and go out in the forest and chop some wood. You want to teach maybe his grandson. He looks like an older gentleman. How about another one?
I didn't flinch anymore.
I think she said, I didn't flinch anymore. She didn't move like in fear. What about here?
Temperatures plunge below 70 degrees.
Oh, let me try that again.
Temperatures plunge below 70 degrees.
I think she says temperatures plunge below 70 degrees. So it falls, right? They're going down. And definition game, another great way. You hear the definition, you try to figure out what does it mean.
to look at something for a long time with interest.
And if you can't understand what was said, you can read it. To look at something for a long time with interest, I think that means to gaze. So that's it. That's 10 great action verbs. There's a test, there's PDF, and a lot more on coolenglish.net. And thank you for listening. Have a great week.
You want to learn English? Cool.
English. Do you want to learn
Cool English.
Cool.
English, dude? English.